Let's start the second section of the course with fundamentals about databases. And let's start the section with information about links between tables and data types. As I told you in the first section, there are three types of links between tables. We only saw one-to-many link, but there are also two more links, the one-to-one and many-to-many. The one-to-one link can be found between two tables, such as orders and receipts. You know that for an order we can only have one receipt, and a receipt can only be assigned to one order. So between the tables orders and receipts, we will have a one-to-one link. The one-to-many link is the most common one and can be found between any tables in this schema, between companies and department, as we said earlier, where a company consists of many departments. The many-to-many link is also a bit less common, but it can be found in many databases. An example for it can be this one, where we have some books and some subjects that the books are about, and you see that this book has three subjects, but we can also find the subjects in other books. So a book can have many subjects, and a subject can be found in many books. And the uniqueness of this type of link is that we need a third table in order to be able to work with this type of link. We need a table to assign the records from the first table to the records from the second table. And now let's talk about data types. These are the main data types that can be found in an Oracle database. Let's say a few words about each of them. The char is a fixed length string. That means if we set the size of the char 5, we can only store strings that are 5 characters long. We can't store strings with the length of 4 or 6. We only can store strings that have the length equal to the size of the char. The second type is a Var Char 2. This is a variable length string, and its particularity is that it does not distinguish a null value from a non-existent one. You may remember that a column can contain null values. For example, the column city can be equal to Paris, or it can contain an empty string, or it can contain a null value. Well, if this column is defined as a Var Char 2, it won't be able to distinguish between a null value and an empty string. The next type is the Var Char. Here we have a C, not a V, and it's the same as the Var Char 2 type, but it distinguishes a null value from a non-existent one. So it can see that here it has a null value and here it has an empty string. The number type. It is a whole number with p digits. For example, the age can be a number, and it can have values such as 18, it can be 35, any number that is whole. The number of p and s is a decimal number, and it has maximum p digits and a precision of s. So for example, we can have a column price, which is number of 5 and 2, and this price could be 100.99. You see that we have 5 digits and the precision is 2. The date type. It can store dates, and the dates can have multiple formats. These dates can be stored in many ways. We can store the date 20th of March 2021 as day, month, year, as year, month, day, and so on. And by choosing this format, for example, it will look like 20/03/2021. The blob type is a binary large object. It has maximum 4 GB, and it stores unstructured data, such as audio files, photos, or videos. The glob type is a character large object, and it stores very large text data, such as text files. The nglob is similar to the glob type, but it also contains national characters. And the b file is a type that contains the location of a binary file stored outside the database. So, for example, it can store the location of a file from a Windows system, such as C desktop/text.txt. In the next video, we're going to talk about SQL operators.